Welcome back, everyone, to the After the Scales, episode 79, presented by DJD Graphics. I'm Jacob Dove of Phenom Motorsports, along with Shaun Blight of Canadian Racing Tours. In today's episode, we got something different. We've been wanting to do something like this for a while now. We have two high-limit sprint car crew guys joining us, TJ Nichols, who works for Tanner Thorson, and KINZER DUSSEL, who crews for Mosites-Lynch. TJ and KINZER, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yep, good to be here.
So obviously you guys are coming off this past weekend at Bridgeport. Obviously Tanner Thorson ended up getting the win on Sunday night. I guess we'll start with TJ. Just talk about that win for Tanner. Obviously it's a second high limit win, so super big for the team. I know it was a big win for Rod Gross as well.
It was a really big win for us, I think. Just going into it that week or this month, honestly, it was one of those months where I feel like we could win decent amount of races, and it comes down to our package and us clicking as a team. And I think for Tanner, it just boosts his confidence, and I think he's one of the best drivers out there. I might be a little biased because I work for him, but it was really big for us. We were pumped. I think we enjoyed that one more than we did like getting our first one, which is crazy because the first one's always the coolest one. But it was really big for us, big for Rod. You know, Rod has had some problems, had to go to the hospital. So getting that one for him was pretty cool, and it was cool for our team.
And KINZER, kind of share about Si's experience this past weekend. Obviously Path Valley was really exciting from a fan standpoint, but from drivers and car owners, there was a lot of destruction out there.
Yeah, I mean, I only feel like I had like my butt clenched about 30 times, so it was chaos for sure. But no, we weren't bad, qualified decent, actually timed the exact same time as Tanner, which was pretty wild. But no, just kind of missed it in the heat race, kind of got almost spun out. But the heat races were crazy as it was. I think one heat race, 6 cars got taken out. So
yeah,
really just glad to walk out of that night not having to build another race car. So I was happy with that.
I want to get kind of back to the start of how you guys got involved in racing or interested in racing, like what your racing backgrounds are. We always hear from the driver's perspective, but curious to hear, obviously, KINZER, no secret where your first name comes from. Your parents are big race enthusiasts, so maybe we'll start with you, and then TJ. How did you get into where you're at now, and what was your background in racing?
So
I'm sorry.
which one's going first?
I'll let KINZER go first because I brought up your.
I was named after Steve KINZER. Actually, not a lot of people know this, but my middle name's Allen because of Bobby Allen. So my dad was
name's Allen too, but it's not over Bobby Allen. How about that?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, my dad was a huge racing fan. He's still in it to this day with my uncle. He crew chiefs for my uncle Nate Dussel. So they're big into it. Our whole family's big into it. But just really growing up around it, I've always loved it, and that's really all I've known as far as a job or occupation. Pretty much when I found out I could do that after high school, it's pretty much what I've been doing.
Mine's kind of different. I did grow up in it, but I was around it as a kid. My cousin's Jesse Hockett, so I was around him when he was racing, and around my family when he was racing and stuff. Got to travel a little bit with him, and he ended up passing away in 2010, and so that kind of killed our family with racing. And we have two people that two like family friends now that race in his name, and so that's kind of got us back into it. And I've always loved racing and always had the love for it, but I was a baseball player growing up, and so I played college baseball, and I never had the chance to go on the road or anything like that. And this is my first year ever traveling, so a little bit different story. I was more in the sports rather than racing, and then I got the opportunity to become and do the racing part of it, and I wouldn't change anything different.
Yeah, TJ brought up a good point there. KINZER, start with you. Kind of talk about how this opportunity to work with Si. Obviously, the Lynch family come from PA. Ed Lynch Jr. was a big sprint car driver coming out of PA, very popular with the fans. And then TJ, you can share your kind of story as well as how you got your start with Tanner Thorson.
Yeah, so I've been doing this for 3 years now. Started with Skylar G actually, officially, like after high school, graduated, worked a normal job, hated it, obviously, and went to it was Ohio Speed Week, and he needed someone to help him, so I went with him for roughly like quarter to half of the year, and then I got another offer from Brett Lane with Chris Wyndham when he was there. Went and worked with him, and then the next year after that, went and worked for the 17 for Sheldon Haudenschild, and then now that deal didn't work out unfortunately, but it was a good time. And then now with Cy, kind of hit him up pretty much right after the deal wasn't working out, and it's been great ever since. So can't complain.
It's a little weird. Actually, last year at Chili Bowl, I was talking to a buddy at a bar, and he was like, "What are you doing with racing?" And I kind of was just kind of floating around helping my buddies back home that race for in Jesse's name, Jack and Samuel Wagner, and I was just helping them. And he was like, do you ever think about going full time on the road?" And I was like, "That's something I've only ever like dreamed of. Like I would like to do something like that." And Brenton, he brought Brenton Marvel over, and Brenton took my phone number. We talked for a minute, and he was like, "Might be giving you a call here in like 2 weeks." And sure enough, Tanner gives me a call, and that's kind of how it all started. It was just at a bar in Tulsa.
That's crazy.
I don't know you guys to drink at all, so I'm very shocked that the opportunity comes up at a bar.
I don't even know what alcohol is, dude. What are you talking about?
I've met Tanner before and stuff like that too, but yeah, that's just the funny story how it all began.
So take us through maybe start with you, TJ, since we left off with you. Maybe a lot of people don't necessarily know like what you guys day to day is like. A lot of late nights, obviously, and early mornings and stuff, but maybe just take us through like what a typical day would be when you show up at the racetrack.
It'd be a lot. Just depends. Usually say like it's race day. We haven't raced in a day or two. We get to the track around 1 to 2 o'clock. And we'll unload and stuff, and I'll finish my tires. I'll have to mount some tires, size some tires, make sure everything's right, double check everything. And I mean, it's honestly with what we do, I feel like it's just constantly making sure everything's near perfect for our drivers. And so like having the right size, have the right stagger for them, and stuff like that. But when it comes to like a 2-day show or something like that, we're getting to the track around 9 to 10 a.m. Like after we race the night before, we'll get to the hotel or whatever around midnight, and we have to go show up at the track at like 10 o'clock. Maintenance the whole car, and during that time, I'm usually dismounting and remounting tires, cleaning the car, cleaning tires, cleaning the trailer, kind of just doing everything that like while they're doing the motor stuff and the stuff with the car, I'm kind of just doing the miscellaneous and doing my work while they're doing their checking valves and stuff like that and make sure everything's good. So that's kind of where I do after the races or before the races.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much the same process for all of us,
Yeah.
Especially full-time guys. But yeah, like if let's just say last weekend, right, we're going into a 2-day show after having X amount of days off. Car's ready to rip, pretty much. I have maybe 1 or 2 tires to mount and get ready sized, prep them, and then it's pretty much taking care of them throughout the night, double checking everything, making sure everything's tight. And like sometimes we have no time at all really to do extra stuff. Like sometimes me or TJ have to get another tire ready before the A main. And it's a show like Bridgeport where you're busting ass to get the show in because it's about to rain. So it can be quick turnaround, but sometimes it's not. But yeah, pretty much after the races are over, we're tearing the car down, taking body panels off, dismounting tires, Most people go to the car wash, but we'll wash in the morning. Um, yeah, get everything clean, maintenance, double check everything, redo tires, and yeah, get ready for the next day.
I wanted to take the opportunity to have two guys, that are around sprint cars basically all the time. It's been a big topic in the sprint car racing community about, the safety of these race cars. I mean, we've come a long way with technology and safety. I feel like, the seats are pretty safe nowadays. Sharp Advantage, Sweet Victory, LaJoya Seating have done a good job. Even, advancement with Chasm Safety. They've made some improvements with the sport, but we've seen a lot of really nasty wrecks this year. I mean, we've seen Aaron Reitzel, Tyler Courtney, Brad Sweet, our buddy Bobby Elliott. He got injured. We've seen a lot of scary wrecks. What do you guys think? Maybe we can do to maybe advance the safety since you guys are around the sprint cars all the time.
There's a couple things I feel like that are pretty stout as far as safety. Like the belts are good, seats are good. I don't totally agree with the chasm safety deal, just because I feel like I watch my buddies. I know Tyler Courtney. I know Bobby Elliott too. Like Caleb Henry having a bad wreck at Attica. I know him. I don't feel like stuff like that would have saved them necessarily or have saved them from injury. But I feel like if you're going to do that, you have to have the belts tied to the seat itself. But that would be like really my only recommendation. Another thing with like fuel tanks too, like a shield on the backside would probably be better just for not causing fires because the fuel's not lighting by itself. It's lighting off of brake rotor or something else hot that's lighting it off. It's not doing it by itself. So that, and yeah, that would really, I mean, I don't know exactly what else we could do with the whole rear end deal because I feel like that's what's hurting all of us, or like hurting the drivers at least, is the rear end snapping off at snout, snapping the drive shaft in half and flying all over the place in the frame of the car. That's what's breaking backs. And I don't know really what else you could do. Like Ed Lynch talked about possibly having a tether on there. Like he said he used to run one, but that would be something I feel like we need to take care of because if we don't, it's going to end possibly worse than we had that week at Kings Royal, where I don't think I've ever witnessed four guys get hurt in one weekend, and I don't think anyone else really has. But yeah, I mean, that is probably the biggest thing that we need to get a hold of is the rear end flying all over the place.
I agree, honestly. I don't really have anything else to really go on there. I think also like tires. Tires can do the way the tires are on the track. I think either more grip. Like I think more grip. I mean, it's hard to just say tires because people have different racing styles, and some people race harder than others, and that can get people hurt. And so it's not necessarily we can do whatever we want to the car and try to make it as safe as possible. And I just feel like with a place like Eldora that hurts so many people, it's still going to be dangerous. The sport is very dangerous. So, I definitely think there can be some features that we can add to make it safer, like what Kinzer was saying. But this sport is dangerous, and at the end of the day, I think we all know that, and we still love it, and that's why we do it.
So yeah, I agree 100%.
For anyone that maybe hasn't worked on a race car or a sprint car before, what would you guys say are some of the positives and negatives about being an everyday crew guy on the road?
I just stared at TJ's eyes, dude. No, I mean, definitely the most positive thing is that realistically, like let's say a week in California or anywhere we're at, and we're only racing 2 days out of the week, you have free time, you have off time. You're not clocking into your 9 to 5 every single day. So that's the part that's nice. Not necessarily making your own schedule. Like I know teams out here that work every day and they have to work a certain amount of hours, but they still have free time, right? Like they still have a day where they can go out, have fun, go to a Steelers game like we did the one day. Like you can do stuff like that. So that's probably one of the pros. Obviously the con is we're away from home all the time. that's probably the biggest one. This is the first time they've been home in what, 2.5 months,
Yeah,
roughly.
like close to that. Yeah, like 7 weeks.
Like they haven't been home since Knoxville Nationals, so it definitely gets brutal. You don't think you're gonna miss home, but you get away from it for over a month. It definitely hits you for sure.
Oh, yeah, nothing to add about like that is a pro is you meet a lot of good people because you're going around and with the same people like throughout the entire year of racing, and I feel like me and Kinzer didn't know each other at the beginning of this year, and I feel like we've grown to be really good buddies. The 42 and the 88 team, like, we're like right, we're really close. So, that's that's the cool part is meeting a lot of good people, being friends with the teams and getting to meet, just everyone. Like I got to meet you, Shaun, and much times, and just like little stuff like that. It's really cool to meet some people. The other cons is just the travel. The travel is really hard. Like we right after we won, we drove 8-9 hours to Indy, slept there, and then we drove 9 hours back home. So like the travel is hard, sitting in the truck for that long, and that can be really tough.
I wanted to jump in real quick, Jacob. I wanted to ask about this bromance between the 82 and the, or sorry, 88 to 42, because I don't know when that happened because I don't remember it. Obviously, Cy wasn't on tour last year, but I think the first race I went to see High Limit was maybe, I don't know, Port Royal in spring or Ransomville or something, and you guys were parked next to each other, and like that's been like every race. So like, how did that start? Like, what's the deal there?
I think it really started. I think Britton and Cy were buddies, and that's kind of how it started. And like our first trip up to Vegas, they drove here. They drove here to Oklahoma, and they followed us the rest of the way. And we stopped, and I mean, we hung out the whole time in Vegas. And ever since then, we've always tried to save a spot for each other and park next to each other. And I mean, yeah, I think that's how it all started, and then we've all just clicked. Like, everyone on our team, I think, is we're young, and
that
so
helps.
that helps. Me, Britton, Kinzer, Cy, and then Cy has some other buddies that will come out sometimes, and it's just we click pretty well, and I think that's kind of how it all just immediately started.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I couldn't remember I'm sure Tanner knew Cy, but I'm pretty sure the start of the whole thing was they had like extra tickets at the banquet for TMS, and I think Cy went to their table for the night and hung out with them, and they became friends, and it's just been pretty much upward since.
Yeah, you guys mentioned about being young guys going out there, and it's kind of cool to be involved with sprint car racing as a crew member. Going down the road, you get to see a lot of places you probably would never see if you had a normal job. But just talk about maybe some advice that you guys would give someone that might show interest in being a crew member for sprint cars or dirt late models or just racing in general.
It's 9 to 5. I mean, I went from not really a 9 to 5. I was a carpenter before I started doing this stuff, but going from a normal job to it's like sprint cars 24/7 in the shop every day, on the road every day. This stuff is not easy. It's not for the weak. And so honestly, all I can say is just the biggest thing I think, and what I've learned this year is you just got to have a good relationship with your team. And because if you don't, and something doesn't happen or something's not clicking right in your team, it's going to ruin that chemistry. And so if you are looking into getting in racing, I would say just like look for a good team that you can click with, and so you don't at first, like you'll get there. I will say at the beginning I was a new guy, and we weren't clicking very well, and it took a little bit for us to click, and when we finally started clicking, we started I feel like we started racing better, and I feel like we didn't have to I wasn't have to. They didn't have to tell me how to do things anymore, how they wanted it. They kind of were like, let me do my own thing, and we all did our own things, and it's worked out since.
Believe it or not, this is my second time doing a podcast. I don't know why, but it is. Yeah. So I would tell anyone looking into doing this, like, you have to realize what you're getting into, right? Like, you're not just showing up I'm just using this as an example. Like, let's just say a random fan our age loves racing, like goes I ran into this at Williams Grove. Like, we were in the campground partying with this random group of people and their kids like just our age. And he's like, man, like I'd love to do that, blah blah. I'm like, well, do you have any experience? He's like, no. I was like, okay. I'm like, why do you want to do it? He goes, well, I just love racing, man. Think it's cool. I say, okay, you think it's cool, but wait till you're knee deep in maintenance in 105-degree weather and you're across the country. Like, it's not going to be easy. Like, you have to realize what you're getting into. And you can't be one of those guys that like does it for a month and like, man, I hate this, I'm going to quit. Because then you're never going to be respected out of the whole racing community as far as crew guys and drivers. They're going to be like, oh, that kid quit a month into it. So, yeah, that's probably my advice. Like, I've had friends and be like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, or I'm getting tired of this. It's like, man, just keep pushing. Like, you have to keep going. Like, they've had I think a really good year. You know, we've had an average rookie year, I'd say. It's like, as far as bad luck and stupidness, but we've had speed too, which is really good, especially early. We've had speed, really just kind of slacking in the A main department, but we slowly figured things out. Like, but like, it's those little highs that you run off of. Like, man, like once you get a win, or we had a podium at Lernerville for the first time. That was really cool. You just got to ride off those highs too, because it not only helps your confidence and helps your morale, your team, and everything like that. But I would say just, yeah, one, just keep digging, and two, got to know what you're getting into.
Right. So speaking of team morale, Kinzer, Chad Hill.
Why do we always got to talk about Chad?
I don't really have a question there.
Always about Chad.
For those who have not met Chad, he is the life of the party. I mean, the guy, he's so. I met him at King's Royal last year. I was hanging out with Cy and his buddy Zane, and we went over to see Chad, and Chad invited us into his motor home, and we're having drinks, and so that's how I got introduced to Chad. And you hear Tony Laporta talk about Uncle Chad, that's who we're talking about.
That's him. Yeah.
And just an absolute blast to be around. What's it like being around that guy 24/7? Does it get a little tiring?
Yeah, it definitely gets old at times, that's for sure. No, he's genuinely a great dude. Obviously very Jurassic sometimes, very explosive personality is a good way to put it. But no, he's older, right? He's older than all of us, but he's genuinely a good dude at heart, and he's a great time to be around. I mean, I'm pretty much every night at Knoxville, I was at his camper. So he's always inviting, always good, but he's very passionate about this sport, and obviously Cy's his nephew. So usually when things go right or wrong, he's usually upset or throwing fists to the air. He's so happy. So it's good to be around him, really. He's a great part of our team.
Anything else? We love Uncle Chad.
We do.
He's basically the uncle of the 88 team as well.
He is, yeah.
I love how excited he gets to see me, and I'm just a fan photographer guy. Like, I like hanging around that team, and it's been nice to meet TJ and kind of, make my way into that group too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a blast.
We have fun for sure. You have to, or else you're gonna hate your life. I can promise you that. It's not fun when you're not having fun, for sure.
Well, we appreciate you guys' time. I know you guys are busy, so it's nice we can all just hang out and talk some racing. I know we could probably talk for hours and hours, but before we let you guys go, we always do our DJD Gear rapid fire segment where we ask 10 random questions. You guys just come up with the first answer. We got some hard questions, some easy questions. So I think Shaun's going to fire them off. TJ, you can give your first reaction first, and then Kinzer, Shaun, take it away.
Yeah,
Good luck, TJ.
yeah. So
I'm doing all 10 questions right now.
no, we're gonna you guys will both answer them. We'll start with TJ and then go to Kinzer if that
All right.
works.
All right,
Yes.
all right.
Yeah. All right. So, which track has the best food?
Oh, Eldora.
I was
like
going to say the
Eldora.
same thing. Yeah, I was really going to say the
Same thing. It's all right.
Yeah,
Eldora, Knoxville.
Eldora, Knoxville, probably. As far as everything being pretty good, yeah, Eldora.
All right. Which is the worst track to get rained out at?
That's tough.
We don't go there, but Williams Grove.
I have been there in the rain out, and it's terrible. So that's a good point.
I've seen a lot of videos of
Yeah.
Mud trucks getting stuck and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, really, any track you're in the infield is not ideal because it's hard to get out. I remember Fremont. This is a 305 fair race, and they park everybody in the infield, right? Like it's their Knoxville Nationals, and it rained so hard that literally it was flooded up like halfway up the turn. Like it was crazy, just chaos everywhere.
Another one on that I-55 because it completely goes underwater.
Yes.
Yeah. That
Dude,
was
Houston's was terrible.
Mention Houston's their last. They had to get boats to rescue people. Like that was.
Dude, I have never witnessed more rain in my entire life. I probably never will again, honestly. Yeah. That was wild. That was insane.
All right, next one. If you could crew for any driver in history, who would you want to crew for?
My cousin Jesse Hockett. If I can pick that.
Oh yeah. It doesn't have to be sprint cars. If there's just someone you idolize or whatever.
I'd probably. I mean, I feel like I have to, but probably Steve Kinzer.
Yeah, I think you'd have to. That's
I'd have to. I was named after him. I have to.
All right. What's one interesting thing that you've learned about your driver that you didn't know before? And you can embarrass the shit out of them if you want.
Oh gosh. I feel like Kinzer has one right away. Go ahead.
One thing I've learned about Cy is he thinks he's a good liar. He's not. He's not. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I'll give two answers. I'm gonna go a different route. One thing I learned about Tanner is he's a really good dad. He's very, very good dad.
He's a very good.
And he's also another version of Chad. He's very fiery.
Yes. Oh my God.
He can be more fiery than Chad to where it's sometimes it's hard to be around him. Not like that, but he's like ready to rip. He's ready to rip.
All right. If you unlimited budget, if you owned a sprint car team and you could hire any driver to drive for you, who would you want to drive for you?
Me. Is that an answer?
Can I pick myself?
You need an unlimited budget.
I'd probably pick Tanner, honestly. Just getting to know him and his driving style. I like that. I like his driving style. So I'd probably pick Tanner. If I couldn't pick Tanner, I'd probably go shit. Crap.
Oh, you can swear on this.
Okay. I was trying to think like worldwide.
No Kyle Larson?
I was thinking about Kyle, but who
is that? Too easy though. Like
yeah,
we got a full-time team here.
I like Corday.
Championship.
I'll say Corday. Corday's
you gonna pick him too? He can't go full-time. He's in NASCAR.
Yeah, but he's a ripper. He's a ripper.
I was obviously right now. Yeah, I'd pick Cy just because I know how smart he is. I love working with him. It'd be great. But if I couldn't pick him, man, I would really like to pick my uncle, but he probably wouldn't do it full time on the road. But yeah, I would say either Donnie because he's the best. There's no debate. Donnie or a younger person like Corey Deck would probably be ideal.
No, fair enough. If you didn't work on sprint cars, is there another type of race car that you'd be interested working on?
It's tough.
Probably midgets.
Yeah,
I like midgets. I'd work on it. I mean, we got 3 in the shop right over there.
You say you're gonna be doing
So
that.
I'm gonna be. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, probably midgets.
I just feel like it'd be hard to get out of like non-dirt related stuff. Like I love dirt racing, so like the dirt like rally cars or like trophy trucks.
Mhm.
I would do that. That would be sick. That'd be fun because they're always racing in the desert and shit. That'd be fun. I would do that.
I like that. I like that. What's one sprint car rule that you would like changed?
Ooh. I could go, boy. Oh, this is interesting.
Kinzer, take it away. I don't know.
Man, there's a lot of options here.
Yeah.
I feel like, man, this is going to be interesting. What I'm about to say, but I would say you change the tire rule as far as what brand you have to run. I feel like that could be a whole nother game changer because you see late models do it now. Like it'd be interesting in sprint cars. I can promise you that.
That's a good one. I'll just say wicker bills because you can only do a certain inch of wicker bill. So I'll just say that.
That's not a bad one. I don't hate that one either.
All right. What's the go-to place to eat after the races?
Love's truck stop. I don't know.
Yeah. Anything that's open.
Yeah.
If it's open, Sheets fucks.
Yeah, We've gone to Applebee's a few times. Applebee's is good. Whatever's open, really.
Yeah.
Buffalo Wild Wings. That's
B-dubs. Yeah, B-dubs is always open.
Yeah. Okay, Sheets, Rudders, Casey's.
Sheets.
Ugh, man, you're killing me.
Sheets. I'm picking Sheets.
Yeah, I have to pick Sheets because there's only so many options you can get at Casey's.
Yeah, that's true.
But God, their pizza is amazing. I love their pizza.
All right, we got one more. What is the one track or event that you're most likely to wake up with a hangover at?
This is easy.
Yeah, Knoxville.
Yeah, Knoxville. Easily Knoxville.
Well,
it's not even close.
Gold Cup.
Yeah, Gold Cup's a sleeper. I had fun at Gold Cup.
Yeah, I was not expecting to have as much fun as I did at Gold Cup.
Honestly, now that it's in the topic, Vegas.
Yeah.
That's kind of a factor now.
See, I didn't go to Vegas with Cy, but I was at Chili Bowl with Cy. We did go to the Hollywood.
That's another one.
We did go to the casino. And I think I got back to my Airbnb at 4 or 5 a.m. and I was not feeling well the next day. So,
yeah, Chili Bowl is another one. I've never been, but I want to try and go this year.
Yeah, you should come.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Sweet.
I said last year, I was like, this will probably be a once in a lifetime experience. And then I went and I'm like, no, I got to do this again.
Yeah, I've watched it for so many years, and literally everybody tells me how much fun it is. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to go then.
I haven't missed one in I don't know how long, so
yeah,
I'm always
all
there.
Right, we'll tear it up in January, man. That'll be fun.
Sweet.
All right, boys, thanks a lot for coming on. I'm glad we got to talk with another side of dirt racing that we normally don't get to. We hope our viewers enjoyed this as well. And if you're at a race, a high limit race, and you see these guys, go say hi, because they're a pretty good group of guys to go hang out with. So, TJ, Kinzer, thanks again, guys, for coming on. Good luck the rest of the year, and we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
After the Scales is proudly presented by DJD Graphics. From commercial and personal vehicles to racing bikes and cars of all makes, models, and disciplines, DJD Graphics can fully customize your vehicle to suit your needs. For more information, contact Darren and visit his website at www.djdgraphics.com. Tell him Shaun and Jacob sent you to receive special rates.
All right, and joining us now is the recent Bridgeport Speedway High Limit winner, Danny SAMS III, friend of the show, huge supporter of his. Danny, thanks for taking time to come on. I know you're Mr. Big Time now.
No, I'm still the same me. It's pretty cool. And yeah, it just feels like not that long ago you guys were starting this podcast and I was one of the first guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool to see how much growth between the first time we had you on and now this year taking on High Limit. Obviously, it's your rookie year. Took the big step to be on a national tour. I know between myself and Shaun, I don't know how many times we've said congratulations, but we're just super pumped for you. Just kind of walk us through, that whole night? Because, a lot of people on social media and online were saying, oh, like they shouldn't have ended the race or whatever. But I mean, like you've said, somebody had to be in the lead and somebody had to win the race.
Yeah. Well, the night started off really good. We're second quick, and it was almost comical then because we felt like we could have a decent night. Didn't expect to win, and it was raining. It was just we knew we were going to be good. And then the heat race, fourth to second, just comfortable. And then in the dash, I got my best dash draw ever. I got to start second. And this is the rains on and off, and able to hold on a second. Gio just blew my doors off, in the dash, but I was comfortable in second. No one had challenged me, so we were happy. We were excited for the future, and we're just looking at a top five. You know what I mean? Like this is a good chance for a top five. And going into the feature, we get in the car and it starts pouring, like it just rained, and we're like. It was almost comical again, like of course, like that's the luck of our thing. And it rained enough, like Tanner Thorson loaded up and he backed out of his spot and everything. Like people thought for sure they were gonna call it, and they came on. They're like, we're in a holding pattern. And they had a break coming in like an hour, and they just kept running a water truck around the track with no water spraying, just keeping it ran. And sure enough, they got the track actually pretty dang good. And by the time they got it going, we only had like 10 minutes for more rain. So, I mean, I guess it was in everyone's mind that they knew rain was coming, but we figured once we got going, they wouldn't stop it till it was over. And yeah, I got a good start and didn't get by Geo, and then my car just started coming to life more and more, where everyone else's I think was falling off pretty fast with how the track was wearing in, and made a pretty sweet move there. I say I don't remember. I remember it, but not perfectly. Like, well, I just remember being like, oh, here we go, and I couldn't believe it. I was in the lead, and then I was like, I gotta stay here, and I ripped by a couple more lap cars, and I was just in the zone. There was no slowing me down. I was running around there wide open, and whatever it took where everyone else was, chopping at the wheel and stuff. And well, I put 2 seconds on them in 2 laps. I was in I was in my own astronaut spaceship there, and and they threw the caution. I'm like, why is there a caution? There's no cars stopped, like what, debris on the track probably, something like that. And they're like, take them to the pits. I'm like, oh, whatever. What? It's raining? Wipe my visor, is raining pretty hard. And then I didn't think they're gonna give it to me at first, not at all. And I was like, it was comical. Like I wasn't upset. You can't control Mother Nature or anything like that. And I was almost laughing a little bit, like, of course, this is my one really good shot, and I did something cool, and it's not gonna happen. And then the announcer said, if they call it, he's the winner. And we're like, what? And they're like, they changed the rule like 4 or 5 years ago, so. Worked out pretty good in my favor. Then when I found that out, it was all about let it rain, baby. I didn't want to go back out there if I didn't have to. So pretty cool.
I feel like ever since that West Coast swing, like starting in that West Coast swing, you guys are really starting to turn the corner. Like you maybe didn't have the finishes that you would liked out west, but you were qualifying good, you were hot lapping good, and you could kind of see like it was starting to come. And then man, like Eldora, you were so good. Even Port Royal, like you got screwed by the invert the one on the at the Tusky, like qualified second. And then even Path Valley the following night after your win, like Cy spins in front of you and you got nowhere to go and you were in a transfer spot. Like what's kind of happened to turn the corner, and is this just like a confidence just not only for you but for your parents as well? Like you feel like you're kind of unstoppable right now, man.
Yeah, so it started pretty much in Skagit. We were good out west, but we got in all kinds of crashes. And then we went to Chico and sucked. And we were like, well, that sucks. We thought we had some momentum. And then, it was like a reset. Went to Skagit and we were on the ball. Like, we were top 6 in qualifying all the time. Then we'd heat race and pass cars. And in the feature, it was better, but it wasn't perfect yet. And I got started on the pole and I made some terrible first laps, and that's all part of the learning process. But I feel like we found a lot with what to do to the car ever since about Skagit on, and what makes me comfortable. And now I've just been fine tuning myself, and that's where you're seeing the finishing positions to get better. Dad's been able to understand the car a little bit better, and we've been meshing well as a team. Like I can tell him what it needs, and he does it, and he doesn't tell me what he's doing, and And then he tells me where I need to be driving, and I listen to him, and we've just been working good together. And like you said, it's been a constant uphill, trajectory, and didn't think it was going to spike straight up like that, but that was a good ending to that one.
Now, Danny, do you feel like the biggest challenge this year, being a rookie, and a lot of these tracks you've never seen before, you never raced on, is it kind of just been a learning year to getting your feet wet and getting a big notebook? Because obviously, you talked about working with your dad and trying to get feedback on what the car needs. Because, like Shaun said, it seems like you start really good out in hot laps, qualifying, heat race. Sometimes you make the dash, and then you might not have the result you want in the feature. Is it just kind of putting a whole night together type of deal?
Yeah, it's an experience thing all around, to all the way to my driving, to what the car needs. It could be good the first 10 laps and it's not perfect, but as a better driver would keep it in a better position. And that's just learning the difference of when to push, when not to push, and when to make moves, and how to keep your speed up. And it's like this whole year's been learning, and you have to slow down at certain times. You have to speed up at certain times. And I'm usually on the wrong beat of that, but I'm starting to, after a lot of studying and what the car needs and how to be able to let it maneuver, and all that's been an upward trajectory, and it's just starting to slowly come together. And like I said, it's just experience. Dad's just been my crew chief the entire time. It's not like we have Ricky Warner in there, but he's getting pretty dang good, if you ask me. And we're learning together. Everything's almost trial by fire, and that's what you see. You saw a lot of fire this year, but now the trials are kind of going a little bit better.
I've been joking with you and your dad all season long about, you guys are really good buddies with Ricky Warner and Rico, and you guys are parked next to each other quite a bit. And I noticed at Eldora you guys weren't parked together um, after Port Royal. So I'm starting to think maybe Ricky doesn't want to give any more tips to you and your dad.
It was kind of funny. Ricky did come by at Path Valley and kind of asked what Dad had going on with the car. And Dad was walking around with his chest all pumped up. Look at me. And yeah, Ricky knows a lot. He already knew what he was asking Dad. He's probably just seeing if Dad was going to be honest, because Ricky could probably look at a car and tell you everything about it. And but yeah, we're still really good buddies with him, and he definitely helps me a bunch. Just the little details. No one's opening their notebook. They're just giving you little hints, and you got to take them and figure them out yourself. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. And like Brad Sweet came by and kind of talked about the car. He was like, "Did you have the car doing this?" And my dad's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I could see." And Dad was like, "I thought I had something secret," but these guys have been racing their whole lives, and they can just look at a car idling around the track and know what it's probably going to do. And that's what makes Brad so good. He knows how to pass you because he knows how your car is going to react. And that's like I said, the experience level. Like we hit on something, we did really good, but these guys know what we did now. It's pretty amazing how fast they can pick up on that stuff.
I had one I wanted to piggyback off of that. David Gravel and Brian Brown, you've been telling me this year, a couple of guys that have really been helping you along, aside from the high limit guys. What were the messages and phone calls and stuff like after your win and like the next day?
Pretty cool. It's I still I don't think I've caught up on all of them yet. And sometimes you get a random number text you says "great job," and you're like, "I've never talked. I don't know who this person is." You try to Google it and all kinds of stuff. But there's been some pretty big players that have said "good job," and like I said, it's been amazing, the support. And there's been so many people that have been watching, and they know our story, they know what's going on, and to see the support when we finally get it done is pretty dang cool. And a lot of people like the trophy in the bed picture. That was pretty funny.
That was good.
And yeah, it's been exciting. And I don't even know how many people text me, but it's been a lot. And I don't know if it's like gratitude or solidification of like who I am or whatever, but it's cool to see that many people like me. I guess you know what I mean. Like you don't go around the world being like, "Does people like me?" But when you have that type of support, you just know.
I had to bring up that picture, Danny.
Slept good that night.
I hope Haley didn't have to sleep on the floor.
Yeah, no, she's on the couch.
How was seeing through social media that like guys like Carson Hocevar congratulated you? Seeing a lot of positive comments. Balancing between that. I mean, most people were happy for you, but there were some negative Nancy's out there. The keyboard warriors that weren't saying that they shouldn't have called the race or whatever. I mean, I think you even responded to somebody in the comments like, "Oh, you never won a heat race before, blah blah blah." do you just kind of just tune that out and just say, hey, I enjoyed this win, whether it was rain shortened or not, and did it really set in here in this picture?
Yeah, and you can't listen to everyone's. There's gonna be negative. If the race went the whole distance, it'd be like the track was too wet. It was one lane, and they'll try to take any credit they can, even though none of them have any say in the matter. It doesn't matter. I have some fun with it. And yeah, that guy was like, I think he said something about a heat race win, or that's no different than a heat race. I was like, how many heat race wins do you have? It's just like you have fun with it. Like I'm not gonna be mad at anyone. They're like, whatever. They weren't in the car. They weren't there. They weren't leading when the rain happened. And someone had to do it. Like I keep saying, and I don't have to defend it. I know what we were able to do, and it's pretty cool. And like I said, I win no matter what. People come up with excuses, and there's always gonna be negative people in the world. But I know if I'm not negative, I'm living a happy life.
I remember after Bubba Wallace won his first race in a rain shortened race a couple of years ago at Talladega. A lot of people were ripping on him, and Rick Mast, who I always remember this tweet. He raced 400 races in the Cup Series and never won a race, and he said he would have given his left nut to win a rain shortened race. And on with that said, I have a list here of drivers that have won their first race in a rain shortened race. So along with Danny Sams, we have Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Sebastian Vettel. Those are, you know, you're in that company. Like you're not the
Yeah.
only one, and those are all champions in their sport. So you know what? Anyone who's got anything bad to say, just suck it.
Yeah, it's the truth. Move on. Worry about something else. And I'm sure they already have with the news of other cars moving and everything else. It's so funny how it's so fast. It's like, and it's always the same people that are so negative. It's just
Yeah.
like you really live a happy life, don't you? Yeah.
On a positive note, High Limit is winding down now. Maybe you might have time to take a break from traveling around with your parents everywhere, and maybe take a couple weeks before you're back to the grind. But just talk about some of the tracks coming up here on the rest of the schedule. I know the season ends at Texas Motor Speedway. Maybe some tracks that you think you might have a good shot of competing for another one, maybe.
I feel like Texas is definitely going to be our strongest. We were really good there earlier, and broke an engine. So, we were running fourth when an engine broke. So I feel like we can be in the mix there. I would have said Lucas Oil is a no, but I feel like we've figured out a package. It's similar to a Lernerville type of dirt. And I feel like if we just grow on that package a little bit more, we'll be in contention for hopefully, top tens is just what we aim for. You got to get yourself in the mix and go from there. It's all about getting in that dash and putting yourself in contention. That's, you got to put together a whole night. And, I'd say Lakeside is a 50-50 with how the track will be. It took rubber in the heat races last when we were there earlier in the year, and we have a 2-night show. I'm sure they'll try to have the track better, and so it'll probably be a curveball. But I feel like we'll be good. We've been better at the big track stuff lately, anyways. And like I said, all these tracks we got plenty of confidence in, and why wouldn't we have confidence? We have a winner's trophy sitting in the shop, and not many people in the world can say they won a national race. So I feel like you'll see an upward trajectory, and yeah, we'll still have our downs and stuff like that, but we'll always know that we can do it because we did it already. So I think this was really huge for our little team here, and I think it can lead to nothing but good.
All right, real quick, I'm going to put you on the spot, and Jacob, I'll put you on the spot too. So you're not at Williams Grove this weekend for the National Open. I assume you're going to be watching. Who you got in that?
I'm gonna say my buddy Brent Marks. He looks good at the Outlaw tune-up, and I think he's pretty hungry for that one. I think he's gonna be a tough one to beat, if you can ask me.
Exactly who I was thinking. I was thinking about it today, and he's way too good, and that team's way too good to not win a big race this year. He got the one at Port Royal, Pennsylvania. I just feel like especially with Macri out, not to belittle Marks, but it's one less real strong PA car. I think Brent Marks is due, like way overdue.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And they work so hard, and he is just so good. Like, he is really good. And you can't call his season mediocre. His season just isn't spectacular as, like, a David Gravels. But I would, like, use that. I would kill to be in a position like that. That guy is good every night, And so I would say Brent. The banana, Bailey, his wife, calls the yellow car the banana boat. So hopefully the banana boat's up front because I know they'll have that one back out for it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of stole my pick. I think Brent
Okay.
Marks is going to be really good. I know you mentioned his wife. She watches my silly TikTok videos. So I don't know if Danny keeps it up with his funny interviews. I might have to do a little imitation for Danny.
All right, perfect.
So, Danny, if you ended the year off the way you did, obviously earlier in the year when we were hanging out, me, Shaun, and you in Tampa at the bar before the season started, you told us that you really wanted to go for Rookie of the Year. Looks like Jason Pursley is going to end up getting that, but just kind of grade your rookie season as a whole, in your opinion, from A to F.
If I could do it as a whole, I would say a C. It's not from lack of effort; it's just from lack of knowledge. A lot of things we would have changed. If I could grade the first half a B, or like the first quarter a B, the middle a D minus, and then the end here a B plus or an A, like A minus maybe. So that middle section really hurt us. We missed a lot of shows. We were behind every night, and it's hard to get out of that gauntlet, that grind, and just like it's not necessarily even a confidence thing; it's a not knowing thing. And like I said, that I feel like experience got us this year, but we got that experience now. And Dad likes to say it best: we got taught this year, and hopefully we move up to not a teacher, but maybe a substitute teacher next year. You know what I mean? We can take that next step. Hopefully, we're back on a tour next year, and we can and improve on our performance.
Thanks again for coming on. Congratulations, man. It's so well deserved. And your parents too. We all know how hard you guys work and how bad you wanted it. So, um, Haley's shipping out on Friday, going to Iraq. Um, we want to wish her all the best. Thank you, Haley, for your service. Um, Wishing her safe travels, happy returns. Can't wait to see her next year. And can't wait to see what the rest of the year has in store for you, man. Still got some races left, and hopefully there's another win with a full set of a full race length.
Yeah, that would be great, and I appreciate you guys having me, and can't wait. Hopefully, you have a good reason to talk to me soon, like we just talked about.
Yeah. All right.
Florida man. Florida man. Florida.
All right. Thanks again, buddy. We'll see you soon.
All right, thank you guys. Bye.